All right, let me make sure this is coming through. Okay. Do 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 do. All right, just making sure it's coming through. Sound check, sound check, sound check. Good. All right, looking good. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good, good, good. All right. Well, I hope everybody had a great trading day today. Let me get this tweeted out so everybody can join in here. 1 second. Good stuff. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good, good, good. All right. Well, like I said, I hope everybody had a great trading day today. So, what a day today. Really choppy in the market, but there were some names that moved, including Nike. So, today we're going to be continuing our series on Analyze My Trade, and today is Nike. So, this is a trade that went well today. So puts on Nike. So we'll take a look at that and see what kind of what the setup was there on that today, and show how that worked out pretty nicely, and then we'll go from there. So before we get started, though, everything we're going to talk about is for educational purposes only and not investment advice. So please take a moment to review this disclaimer. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good, good, good. Also, by the way, we had a lot of great requests out there, so it was tough to choose which one. Again, I really like everybody's telling me what went good, what went bad, and so we can kind of take a closer look at it. It's hard to choose sometimes, but this was a really interesting one, and I like how it worked out. So yesterday we looked at Tesla, which didn't work out great, but today we're going to look at Nike, which worked out well for that trader today. So good stuff. So we're going to take a look at it and see where we left off in the market today. Then we're going to take a look at the futures and see what we got going on this evening, which we might have setting up into tomorrow. And then we'll go over the topic, and then we'll take questions and chart requests. So let's get started. All right, so let's take a look at SPX here. So up 53 points today. So the big gap up today really helped the monthly chart. It's starting to put in a nice lower shadow off of this one. So if we can get over 50% of the range of the prior month's candle, then that would get rid of the dark cloud cover. Otherwise, it still could be dark cloud cover, but at least we're no longer a bearish engulfing candle in the monthly chart. That's always sketchy. But it was a pretty interesting move, right? So upper shadow here, we pushed off the upper Bollinger Band here on the monthly. Weekly chart, like we said, we had a nice gap up, right? So that kind of got things going here a little bit after last week's hammer candle. Again, remember this volatility all started once we started getting to this cloud canyon right here. But if we continue to work our way up, we'll see where that goes. So daily chart. Right, as we continue to evaluate what's happening here, right? So what we were recently looking at is the possibility of this just being a correction. A lot of bears were calling for another big crash and all that, and it's possible that could happen on the line, but right now not happening, right? So we do have the channel right here. To us, the impulsive move down that really didn't get any follow through reminded us of the beginning of a zigzag correction move, right? And so that was your impulsive move down. Then we had our A, B, C, right? And then another impulsive move down here. We thought it might get a little bit lower, like to the bottom of the cloud, possibly the 200-day. But that corrective move was contained by this channel right here, and we pushed over it on Friday just briefly, just kind of poked its head above it right there. And we said what we'd really like to happen is to get over the 8-day, the cloud, and the 50-day. So we got over the 8-day and the cloud. We just didn't get over the 50-day with a lot of strength yet. But we're going to see if we can get some follow through tomorrow and see if this is actually the start of a fresh wave up. So we're going to kind of keep an eye on this and see if it can work its way up, and then we'll look to see if the dip is viable, if we can maybe get a 618 retrace, and then really try to catch a wave 3 up here on the SPX. So we're going to see how that goes going into the next couple days as we enter into pre-election volatility territory. Let's take a look at the price action today on the SPX. So it's kind of interesting, right? So we gapped up today and it was pretty choppy. This is when we have a big gap like this and it doesn't fade like right away, right? Then pretty much we can anticipate some chop unless like some big volume comes in and really starts pushing this thing. So we were pretty much expecting chop on the SPX today, and that's what we got. So we had a couple little moves today that were possible to make some trades on. A couple upper shadows here at the 15 orb high, inside 15 down for a nice little move here from 33.46 down to 33.49 to 33.39, right? So nice little move right there. Then we just chop, 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 chop. Then we got our ways to the top right here, and then kind of drifted down a couple impulsive moves down, and that was about it as it held the 15 orb high. So it's not really much in terms on the SPX today, but there were some names that worked out well, like I talked about in Twitter. We had a nice short in the group today on Apple. AMD was also another one that we pointed out at the open. Then we also pointed out in the public Twitter as well the strength in the banks, and that led to a nice JP Morgan trade today, which worked its way up to its next major level, which was pretty which is a nice one today. So you can see here's the levels that we provide to our members before each market open, and you can see how well we held this weekly level right here. We kind of were between that and this. There's also a monthly level right here, which also came into play too. It's rare, but with the big gap up, right, we can get to those monthly levels. This is the first area of of potential. Well, actually, this is a prior resistance level. So anyway, interesting stuff right there. Then we got into a prior support level. We come into a little bit of resistance right here, but it'll be interesting to see what the new monthly levels are like after this month. So pretty interesting stuff there too. So a lot of chop here today. Let's take a look at the futures and see what they look like. Now, another reason that we thought, so we have a big gap up today, but we didn't gap up because of some sort of magic. We gapped up because the futures were super strong last night, right? So as we headed into the midnight hours, right? So let's take a look. These are our signal zones, which are our supply and demand areas. That we use to help navigate the S&P futures, which help us find some nice SPY options trades. So on Friday, we had a really kind of crazy move up, right? We pushed through a lot of signal zones, took out a lot of levels, and kind of finished overall pretty decent on the day, right? And so when we came into Sunday night and into early Monday morning, we saw that we had a little bit of trouble here with the 3,300 level, and then once we kind of got above that, things really start to get going, right? And then early this morning around 6 a.m. we got another spike, right? And then we kind of came up in the signal zone here, found a little bit of resistance, but we still held our geometric line into the open here today, a little bit of a down move, and then we triangulate a little bit, get a little bit of pop out of there, which gave a little bit of a move on Apple and a couple other names later in the day, and then we pulled back again, tested the signal zone, and bounced off of that as we continue to move higher. So what we're going to do is we're going to put these geometric lines up here, and you can see how nicely those are now holding going into tonight. So let's see how those hold there. We have a signal zone right here coming into tomorrow. So let's kind of keep that on the radar right there as potential resistance. We've got another signal zone up here, and we'll see how that holds going into tomorrow as well. And then we'll take a look and see what else sets up tonight going into tomorrow. And of course, we tweet this out in the morning so you guys can kind of see what levels we're at, and we review it in the morning market prep video. So good stuff there. So let's see how that holds. So good. So fun moves are there. It's actually kind of a nice channel here too. So we'll see how that goes. Good. So let's get to the topic here. So again, this week is all about analyze my trade, and today is Nike. So a Twitter follower sent me this one, and I like I said, guys, everybody sent really great charts today, but I thought this was a nice one because this was one that worked out really well, and it was actually a short on Nike today, which is pretty cool. Nike was actually on our bullish radar going into today. We had a nice move, and let's kind of take a look and see how it looks on the daily chart. And it did give a gap up off of the daily chart, but it really didn't get any follow through. So let's take a look. Let's go through all the different time frames and take a look kind of what we're dealing with here today. So now overall, again, not necessarily on the overall short radar. Why? Because it had a big gap up off our earning, and it's been holding its gap. So the monthly chart is still pretty strong, right? So we have a nice, the prior month was green, right? We've had a big green month so far after earnings, so far so good there. Weekly chart last week had a big move, but it left with a big upper shadow. Okay, so that's pretty cool. So we're looking at some selling pressure in this range here from 130 to 125. So we opened the week, we gapped up this week into that range, and so it's natural to look to see that, hey, we might see some selling pressure there. So I think that was a really good job. Plus we're a little bit overbought on the weekly chart as well. So I think looking for a potential short setup is not a horrible idea. In addition, right, so this is one of the things we liked. So a couple of things that we liked about Nike was how it held the gap so far, right? And so that's one of the keys that we liked here. Another thing that we liked about, at least to see if we can get a gap up on this today, was how it held the 382 retracement. That was nice as well. But another thing is it hasn't tagged the 80 MA yet. That's a key level that often gets tagged before things start to move up again. So we have not tagged that yet. So that could lead to a little potential move down. So the other thing is too is we gapped up today and then we reversed. So let's take a look at the daily price action and see what happened here today. So if we go to the 15-minute chart, this is pretty interesting, right? So you can see we gapped up, right, and we had a big pre-market level right here. Okay. So we talk about this often, that if we can't get over the pre-market highs, a lot of times we see a reversal off of that. So I think that was a great find from this trader who pointed this out. So we couldn't get over the pre-market highs, and look at that. So we ended up getting a reversal off of there. But what we also saw at the open is that the open gap, got quickly faded this morning with a strong red candle, right? So that was kind of in correspondence a little bit with how the market behaved today, but that oftentimes gives us a precursor into some potential future price action, unless we can get some big volume and some big strength to really break out. So there's a couple, so that was good, right? So we're looking a little bit weak here at the open, and then we started to recover a little bit. We couldn't get over these levels. So I thought that was a good finder. There was some good long opportunities right here. There was a double inside 15, which worked its way back up here over the 15 orb and held your ADMA up all day. Now, I believe this is probably the short area right here where this trader got short, and I think this is a good concept. So if we have if we put a channel from where we're moving up right here, what we see here is a clear breakdown of the channel off of an inside 15, which started to take us down. Now, we started testing the ADMA, and then once the ADMA started to work its way down, we closed below that and below the 15 orb low, right? That's where we really started to see some action to downside. What was kind of interesting is that this candle right here had actually pretty low volume on the 15-minute chart, so that was probably something that would have kept me out, just to see if we saw a bounce off of it, but that's okay. The 5-minute chart too. This was good too. So once we broke out of these levels, we started to triangulate a little bit here, right? So we had a kind of this really kind of tight compression area, right? So this triangle really started to get tested. That was your inside 15 area, and then we finally broke down here. Again, a little bit on less volume out of the triangle, but we never retested it, right? So that was kind of a nice move. So that was a good. Let's take a look at the 1-minute chart and see how we looked right here. Now, what I like about the 1-minute chart was this, right? So even though that 5-minute chart was a little bit funky, we did have a gap down intraday on the 1-minute chart, which kind of took us down here, and that's a nice kicking candle, right? Well, not a full kick. If it were a green candle, we gap down red, that would be a kicking candle. But it's still, to see a gap intraday sometimes can give us some inspiration, especially if we're breaking out of a geometric level right here. And I like how this gap pushed below the last tick of these levels right here, right? So that was a nice move right there. So if you're stocking these things, that ended up giving a pretty good move, and this had increased volume on it, and then we saw some nice downside off of that. So pretty cool stuff, right? So there was a couple other opportunities if you wanted to catch a retrace off of this one. I like the 382 retrace here with an upper shadow and then an inside 5 down for a little more downside. And of course back here too, off of these levels, 50% retrace off of the down move, and then that continued to work its way down at the end of the day. So I think this was a good trade today. Again, the only things that I probably would have done on the larger time frames, I probably would have been a little bit cautious off of the decreasing volume on this breakdown candle, and then same with the 15-minute chart, decreasing volume here too. So that probably would have just kept me out of the trade. Not to say that it didn't work out, and it did, and that's a good thing. So I'm really glad that happened. What I want to do also is a lot of times what we do is we look to make sure our sectors give us some tailwind to it. And although Nike is kind of spread amongst a few different sectors, it is on the Dow, right? So what we can do is we take a look at the Dow futures and see how they were behaving around this time. And you can see the Dow was breaking down too. So I like that, right? The Dow broke down a little bit more than some of our other ones, right? We looked at the SPX and it was pretty choppy, but I like how the Dow was breaking down around the same time that Nike was breaking down. So you have some overall market tailwind on this one to help give some more short side sentiment. So that's good. So I really like that. And then finally, the other one, when you're trading Nike, one that you always want to kind of keep in the back of your radar and also check the chart, Foot Locker. A lot of times these charts go hand in hand, because if Foot Locker's doing bad, right, the idea is they're not selling as many shoes, and if they're not selling as many shoes, they're not selling as many Nikes, right? So you can see here that Foot Locker around this time frame too was actually really bearish because it couldn't hold its 15 orb low, and we had an inside 15 down off of the 15 orb low below the ADMA, and I think that helped give Nike a little more downside movement as well. So I really like that. Although the intraday, although the volume was a little bit sketchy for me on the Nike chart, I like that how it had the tailwind from the market on the Dow, because it's listed on the Dow, and I like it how it's some tailwind here with kind of one of their supply chain companies, which often go hand in hand with each other. So I like how Foot Locker was organized. So when you have those two tailwinds behind you, I think it makes a good short, and I think that was a great job. So so good trade and well done. So good stuff, guys. So hopefully you guys found that helpful. And at this point, if anybody has any questions or chart requests, please feel free to plug those in the chat window. We'll get through as many as we can and try to wrap up as early as possible so we can all have a good night's sleep and another awesome trading day tomorrow. So good stuff, guys. So Cool One said a few in via Twitter. So let's take a look at those here on the daily chart and see what we've got going on. So we got AMWL. Okay, so American Well Corp. So this is a pretty new release right here. Again, key levels right here off of its opening area, right, off of its opening date right here, right. So this is a very big area right here. You can see it came into resistance, right, and then kind of worked its way back up until we gapped above it and tried to get a move. We had a little doji reversal, and we're getting a lot of upper shadows up here. So at this point here, we have an open gap between here and the IPO high and the opening high right here. So we can see how that holds, and just kind of see how this upper shadow, see if it gets any more downside movement on that one. Let's say we get Okta. So some interesting movements here today in the software sector. We had a pretty decent close with some of these names like Okta on Friday, and it left us with an inside candle today. So what I do like is that the ADMA is crossing over the 50, and I like how we're above the cloud. So keep an eye on the software sector tomorrow, the cloud sector, things like that. See how Microsoft does, see how Adobe does, see how CRM does. Or if we can get some strength out of those names, maybe we could take the inside day up on Okta. And then Ping, let's take a look. Okay, yeah, so Ping kind of hanging in there a little bit too. So again, kind of breaking out of some geometric levels today. I like the gap up. I like the increased volume. Let's see if we can get some follow through on this one back up to the cloud on the 50-day. So great finds on those. Cool. I really appreciate it. Shirley sending a few in via email. Again, everybody, thank you for keeping Shirley in your thoughts and prayers as she's doing better every day and also giving us great chart ideas. So let's take a look here. So yeah, so I like how Etsy broke out of these geometric lines right here today with some increased volume, and let's keep an eye on it. Let's see if it can work its way out of the cloud there tomorrow. I think that looks pretty good. So let's definitely keep an eye on that one. So hold on, let me pull up tomorrow's game plan real quick right here, and so many game plans. Trying to scroll through. 1 second. All right, good. So let's see. We got this, and let's see Tuesday. Yeah, so Etsy looks interesting. Let's keep that on the bullish radar for tomorrow. And we had some very interesting upgrades today, so let's see how those goes going into tomorrow as well. Okay, so good stuff. Great find on Etsy, Shirley. Really appreciate that one. So good find there. Let's see what else do we have. So so you have FSLR. I tell you, the solar names have been pretty wild recently. FSLR is one of those ones that that likes to move to. That one and ENPH are probably two of the big ones that are in those sectors. In fact, I need to add those to my list right here. So FSLR and ENPH. And run, and let's take a look at CCL, AL, and DL. Okay, good. Those are a couple of the ones I needed to add to my watch list. Okay, so good stuff there. Yeah, so great breakout, great move today over the ADMA on FSR. Just watch your volume on that one. It's kind of a little bit blah, but doesn't mean it didn't move today. S-Bucks. Okay, so up today, you know, it's kind of interesting. I was looking for a little bit of a pullback on Starbucks. I had it on the bearish radar yesterday because of the bear flag, but we gapped above it, right? So that pretty much invalidated that setup. So again, kind of keep an eye on it right here. See how it holds. It's coming up to a prior geometric level, but I like how the volume's been kind of coming in off of these last green days. So let's see if Starbucks can continue to work its way back up. Let's take a look at eBay. Again, nice move on eBay today. Just watch. It's found a little cloud and 50-day moving average resistance. And then DLTR. DLTR had a pretty decent day today. So nice move up after two green candles right there, making a third green day here. And looking pretty good. Yeah, just had a nice strong day today. Held the ADMA for the majority of the range today. So good find there as well. It's got a little bit of room to get up to the cloud and the 50-day as well. So good stuff. Great finds on that one. Gio, hello. What's going on? Thanks for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Christian, what's going on? Good to see you. Let's see. You got a couple of requests out there, so let's take a look at JD. I know you asked about this yesterday, but yeah, so good follow through on this one. We got through the geometric line today. I like how it kind of formed a hammer here today. Would love to have seen a little more volume on that one, but I got some pretty good follow through from Friday. Boeing looking okay here, so nice follow through from Friday's squeeze candle. Got some more upside on that one. So we're basically coming back into the triangle range right here. Really tight on that one. So one of the things we could actually do is we can kind of stretch this triangle out a little bit right here after this reversal. So let's see. We're actually a little bit above. We kind of poked its head above it here today. Let's see if we can get up this 50-day moving average, see if it can handle this cloud. Otherwise, we may still kind of go back to chopping in this larger triangle on Boeing. AMD. Okay, so AMD looking pretty interesting too. What I liked about AMD going into this week was the inside week, right? So we took an inside week up on AMD today. It was not easy. We actually were short on this one at the open, which is fine. It gave us a nice down move at the open, and then we reclaimed, and then we had another short opportunity off of that. And then it started to get strong again, right? Had a higher low, and then tried to get triangulated for a little bit here, and then the market started to pick up, and volume really started to pick up on AMD as well, as it pushed above those levels. So so nice find there on AMD, a bit of a hammer right there, and the volume was 48,206, a little less than Friday, but let's see if that hammer can get any follow through on that one going into tomorrow. And then AAL. Yeah, so the airline's doing pretty decent, right? So they're still hanging in there. Big upper shadow. They were strong at the open, gave a big reversal this morning. Right, they were looking pretty weak at the open. They gave a huge reversal today, and just basically held the 15 orb high, which could potentially be bullish going into tomorrow. So let's see how that goes. Watch the upper shadow. It's off of the cloud again, like we said recently. Let's see if it tags that cloud and kind of works its way back down. So something to keep an eye on there. So good stuff. Mike, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, let's take a look at SPCE. This was a good one for us too. We actually wanted to take this long at the open, but it did not allow us to. I don't know if anybody had any luck with it at the open today, but the options were not showing up at all at SPCE. I mean, there was zero volume until like 9:45, so it was like, or at least 9:35 or something like that. It was like, okay, SPCE, can we trade now? And so that was a little bit funky, and that was on multiple brokers, right? But we broke over these pivot levels here this morning on a nice gap up. We pointed this out on the pre-market video. We liked how strong it was pre-market, and we really wanted to capitalize on this follow through. We ended up catching a little bit here, a little bit of out of this geometric breakout, and it came back and retested this geometric line twice before working its way up into the end of the day. And I like the follow through that it's getting after hours here. So so nice find on that one. Let's see if we can get over the cloud. We got a nice open gap up here, which could be a potential target on SBCE. And that was one of the things I want to mention about Nike earlier too, is if we do get more downside follow through, let's see how it holds this gap level right here, right? So, and the ADMA. If it gets below there, then we got that open gap, which could be a potential target. I meant to mention that a little bit earlier. Cool. So BA again, nice squeeze through today. Just kind of testing that 50-day right now. So see how it holds that and kind of the top of the triangle. It's trying to poke its head above there. Let's see if we get some more volume out of there. But I do like the volume that's coming in on this one. The FAA. I think Wednesday they're talking about doing a test flight of the 737 MAX, so we'll see how that goes coming this week too. It could be an interesting, possibly sell the news, or maybe they come back and are like, yeah, this airplane's great now. So we'll see how that goes. GLD, I know you've been asking about this one too. So again, pretty crazy right here. It's getting really tight. We thought it might break out of this triangle. It never did. In fact, it broke down out of it, gave you an inside day down, and then it gave you an inside day up right here. So it's kind of tough. The ADMA has crossed over the 50. Let's see, if it gets some strength and get back into the cloud, right? See if we can get some movement again. But right now, it's just been a little bit tricky, a little bit out of play. But I like the increased volume. Let's see if we can try to work its way up a little bit higher on that one. So Christian, yeah, AMD potentially a bullish hammer. Could be a continuation hammer on that one. I'd like to have seen a little bit more volume on it. Yeah, I'd like to see it get over 80, right, to see if we can get a push over there with some volume. But it's off to a pretty good start so far this week. So let's see if we can get some movement on that one. Alma, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you're well. Silver, very similar to gold. Only difference is that it took the inside day up and is closing. It got a little bit more of a push here into the cloud. But again, declining volume right here. Let's see if it tries to attack that gap above. And then Etsy, very nice one. Great minds think alike on this one. Surely like this one as well. I like the breakout of the geometric levels here. I like the increased volume. Now let's see if we can get a breakout of the cloud. So good stuff there. Jameis, what's going on? NVIDIA, let's take a look. So NVIDIA, a bit of a northern doji here today. Kind of a hammerish type move. Could be a hanging man. Lower volume. It still gave us some follow through from Friday's strong day, so it might, after a day like Friday, we could anticipate a little bit of a pause right here. But let's see if it turns into a doji sandwich and kind of works its way back up on that one. Netflix, pretty interesting. Got a few upgrades intraday today, and it did it at the right time, right? So we kind of came back down, retested the ADMA today, and it really gave kind of an epic reversal here today, which is pretty wild. We did come into a major congestion zone right here, so not surprised to see a little bit of a bounce off of this area, which we found, and then just kind of worked its way back up through its 60 anchor levels, back into the 15 orb, and kind of gave a nice reversal candle today. So let's see, good volume. Let's see if that can get over the 50-day, back through this cloud, and try to work its way back up again. Good stuff. Thanks, Jameis. Cloud Guy, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Apple. Again, Northern Doji on this one. Decent follow through from Friday's candle. Although this was a nice short at the open, it was just weak. We were looking at it as a bull flag. We thought it was going to keep on going, and then we're like, okay, switch to put our short hat on, and we started to look for short opportunities on that. We got a couple nice moves off of that one this morning. It consolidated for a while, right? Gave kind of like a triangle consolidation move right here, a little bit of a breakout, and then finally gave a little bit of a push into the end of the day. So let's see if we get some follow through on that one with some other tech names closing pretty strong here today too. JD as well, decent hammer on that one. Just watch the volume there too, and then SPCE. Again, huge day today at SPC. It was one of our favorite ones going into the open. Again, I wish we could have traded it right at the open. It just didn't give us the opportunity there. But a nice push up here, right into the daily cloud, drifting up after hours. Let's see if we can get above this this daily cloud and try to work on this open gap right here. It's good stuff. Thank you so much. NKE, what's going on? I hope you're doing well too. Thanks for tuning in. KC, what's going on? You, good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Michael, what's happening? Good to see you. Let's take a look and see what we've got. So MRVL, we talked about the, what was it, like a quadruple inside week or something like that. And we were like, this thing's probably going to move sometime here. Yep, triple inside week up. So again, it had to happen eventually, right? Contraction to expansion. So we got the expansion to the upside today. Again, a lot of kind of the semiconductor names were pretty strong today. I mean, AMD and NVIDIA were all over the place, but stuff like Marvel, Intel was really strong today. Xilinx was pretty strong today. So, but again, triple inside week up here. You gotta love it. So nice find on that one today. And then a 5-word breakout, Marubozu. I like it. So let's take a look here and see what we got. Yeah. So I like the inside 15 up today. I like how it held the ADMA all day. And then, of course, a strong, yeah, look at that, strong candle at the open right there. Boom, for a nice move. Nice potential retrace off of this one. Looks like about a 618 right there, too. Perfect retrace for another entry to work its way up throughout the day. So great find on that one. And also the triple inside week up. You got to love it. Yep, perfect. Great stuff right there. Great stuff. And then Workhorse. Let's take a look. Yeah, Workhorse with the Morningstar reversal follow through. It is what it is. We talked about this last night, guys. So it got the follow through today, gapped up, retested the levels, and then broke its way back out again, right? So retested those levels, and then kapowie. Workhorse likes to do this. I mean, just amazing. Huge volume right here. Big 15-hour breakout, and a big move on that one today for the Morningstar reversal on that one. Great find on that one. And then INO. Okay, so INO with a nasty gap down today, right? So this was just a rough move on this one here today. It was, I mean, the news this morning, slide pre-market, FDA put a partial hold on the COVID vaccine trial. So that wasn't good, right? So we saw that happen here today, but let's take a look at the 15-minute chart. The good news about it, though, is that it couldn't break down below the pre-market lows. So if you can't break down below the pre-market lows, we look for a potential reversal, and that's exactly what we got here today for a nice 15-hour breakout for a reversal trade and a little bit of a short squeeze on anybody who got short there at the open and doesn't know how to look at their pre-market levels. So good stuff there. So yeah, so KC, yeah, let's take a look at Piton. Let's take a look at Piton and see how it's doing. So it was pedaling its way up here on Friday, right, with good volume, and it kind of gave a pause candle here today. We were thinking maybe this morning, we looked at it as a potential gap up today, but again, same thing. We couldn't get over the pre-market levels. We talked about with our profile on Nike here today. There's kind of the big pre-market levels right here, big upper shadow off of that one, and just kind of triangulated into today. So let's see if we can gear up for some more and try to push again. But that was a key level. We really wanted to see it to gap and go to get over that $100.44 level and over any pre-market highs. So good stuff. So Michael, Congress on recess, right? There you go. Keep the government funded and keep Powell quiet, right? Test the highs into the election, right? Exactly. Mr. Mosby, what's going on? Good to see you. Let's take a look at NNOX. So NNOX, yeah, gave a push up to the 8-day and pulled off of that one a little bit there. SE, which has had an epic run up, could be forming a potential doji sandwich after it's bounced off the bottom of the channel. So nice move on that one. Square, we had some questions about this one today. Keep an eye on this. Guys, Square is a tough one to trade intraday, but let's see if that turns into a doji sandwich to try to work its way back up tomorrow, right? Really tricky price action here today. On the intraday, but keep an eye on that as a potential doji sandwich for tomorrow. V, another payment processor in a way. Again, spinning top here off the 50-day. Let's see if we can get above that. I do like the gap up. It just didn't get any follow through today. MA, another credit card company, held up a little bit better. Green candle right there, and above its geometric levels as well. So let's see if that can get some follow through too. Okta, again, there you go. Another nice one there. Inside day. Let's see if we can break out one way or the other on that one. Zen. Nice green candle up today, still holding its ADMA. So again, just kind of keep an eye here. See how it holds these levels. A little bit of an upper shadow right here, but if it breaks over those highs, we might see some more follow through on Zen. And then ZS. The Z's here today. So trying to get over this geometric level right here and kind of came back in and retesting it. So let's see if it can get over that 140 level. Going to be a big area right there. So Michael Peck, let's take a look. So Peck, this was one of those wild ones, right? So it came back down, and then it took the inside day up, $7.33 all the way up to 2 points, so like to over to $9 today. So nice move on that one. And then Sun W, that was another wild one too that you mentioned from the other day too. Again, tried to make a push, but not as good as the Peck name. Jay, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. I know, new time. It's perfect. Good. Yeah, it's good. It's allowing me to wrap up a little earlier on my day and get a little more rest, which is I always encourage it. So I got to do it myself too. So we got that going on. So good stuff. I know a lot of our folks join in from the West Coast. 9:30 my time is like 6:30 their time, so it's a very convenient time for them. But hopefully they're able to. Everybody's able to catch the recordings and be able to join it too. And you can always DM me early if you can't make it later, so we can get your chart requests in earlier. So good stuff there. Creighton, what's going on? Good to see you. AYX. Let's take a look. Yeah, so AYX again, still kind of range bound that we've basically been dealing with for a while right here. So again, big move after the gap. I tried to do a quick breakout right here. All right, gave a little bit of follow through the 200-day. Now it's kind of back into this accumulation period, right? So let's just kind of see. Eventually, it's going to try to work its way back out again, and we'll see if we get over that over this range, kind of get back in the cloud, and see if we can really work on this nasty gap above there. So let's see how that goes on that one. Tracy, good evening. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you are well. Let's take a look at Koopa Troopa. So yeah, decent little hammer today with some volume, so I like it. So you get a push up there to the 50-day on that one. And then Bank of America. So decent move on this one today too. JP Morgan was another epic standout here today, intraday. We pointed out Bank of America with some intraday strength with the banks today. Gave a decent move up here today. JP Morgan was really the one of the day here today. It was just fantastic. ADMA day for the majority of the day, and just a great move into the highs of the day. So and hit our target intraday, which is great. So good stuff there. Let's do this. What's going on? SQ, let's take a look. So Square with kind of a complex day today, but could be a potential doji sandwich, so we'll definitely keep an eye on that, see if we get some follow through on that one going into tomorrow. And let's take a look at SFIX. So SFIX with earnings not too long ago, so let's take a look. SFIX. Okay, so I think they actually had like good or better than no, they had actually pretty rough earnings right there, and it kind of worked its way down off of that. Inside day up though, so let's see if we get some follow through those levels. Again, we're dealing with a lot of crazy area right here. Just kind of keep an eye, see if it holds its geometric line, and it could try to get some follow through. I like the volume that came in there today too. So good find there. Michael, did you see GM trying to buy another electric vehicle company? Why am I not surprised? Well, that one turned out to be fake. So I don't know, GM. Why don't you make your own electric vehicles? But kind of is what it is. I guess they. What was their one car that they had? It wasn't the Vibe. It was like the Volt. So I guess they don't make too many of those anymore. But anyway, try making some some nice electric trucks and maybe an electric minivan, which would be pretty cool. And maybe they'll sell some cars. Anyway, but so good stuff there. Jay, so you got SFYF. Let's take a look. So title ETF truck. Okay, so trust. So again, gap up today. Let's see. Again, this thing's prone to gaps, but kind of keep an eye on it right here. See, it's breaking out of some geometric levels. See if that get any follow through on that one. The SFYX is also a gap up there with a spinning top on that one. So a little bit of caution there. CLDR. Okay, yeah, so Cloudera trying inside day up, kind of came back in the range. Just a little bit of caution there with that one too. SQM. SQM with a spinning top today off the ADMA, so a little bit of caution there, and then NOK. Again, decent little kind of Morningstar reversal here today, but just be careful. It's an ADR, so you're going to see a lot of gaps on this thing. So good stuff. Bruce, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. I love the dab. Thanks, man. Appreciate you tuning in. Snicks, what's going on? Yeah, SPAQ. It's the SPAC. It's hilarious. So we're working its way back up here under the 8-day. Which company is this one buying? Oh yeah, Helion. So we'll see how that goes right there. Maybe we'll see if it's legit or not. So interesting move there. So Jay, ABT. Let's take a look. ABT with an upper shadow here off the ADMA. So let's see if that can continue to hold and just make it up for days you missed. I like it. Suyag, what's going on? Good to see you. Netflix. So Netflix up a little bit after hours. I like the hammer today. I like the increased volume. I want to see you get over the cloud in the 50-day. So it's kind of the big thing on that one. And MKC reports earnings. So okay, so McCormick and Company. Let's see. Spinning top right here. So let's see if that gives us a potential 15 orb into tomorrow. So that could be interesting as well. Nice find on that one. Good stuff. Again, we just had to see which way it gaps, and then we'll go from there on that one. So good find on that. So Turth, what's going on? Good to see you. Grub. Let's take a look and see how that's going. Yeah, so grub just kind of chopping around right here. Spinning top day at the 50-day moving average. I mean, maybe it's kind of like a little bit of a bull flag. So let's see if we get some breakout out of these areas with some volume on that one. Yeah, Jay, my pleasure. Thanks for tuning in. And then SPT Turf, let's take a look. Yep, so a bit of a hanging man type candle on that one, so just a little bit concerned off that one. Just a little caution there. Probably a little bit challenging with the options. Then EXPI. Let's see, EXPI. Yeah, good breakout on that one here today. I like the movement here. Again, just watch out this. There's a geometric line here, and then we did get out this geometric line here. So let's see if we can follow through on that one tomorrow. Yeah, and then Uber. Wow, what a move on Uber today too. Big gap up this morning, but they couldn't push. Right. So let's take a look. Why? Right? Can we get over the pre-market levels? No. Did it try? Sure. But it failed, right? And it kind of came back into its 15-order range on that one. And then Tracy at Tesla. Let's take a look at Tesla and see how that's behaving right here. So Tesla pretty tight right here. Kind of looking interesting. Again, kind of triangulated today. Didn't break down very much. Didn't really break out very much. So just kind of hung in there. So basically what we're seeing on Tesla, kind of a spinning top day. Tomorrow's going to be a pretty crucial day to see if that turns into a reversal candle or a potential continuation candle. So might start getting perky again, but I still like the follow through from the bounce off of the 50-day and the bump trend line. So good stuff. So Michael, so favorite setups in tomorrow. I think Etsy's looking pretty promising on that one, so we're going to keep an eye on that to see if we get some strength follow through on that one. A couple of the other big names were pretty strong today too. Nvidia was looking okay. Nvidia was looking okay, and Apple had an okay close. Snap is looking pretty interesting. I want to see if that gets any follow through into tomorrow. That had a pretty decent day today. Big gap up, nice upgrade, right? So if we can get over 26, Snap could try to work its way up to the recent highs. So we've got that going on. And then BABA, yeah, so we'll take a look at Turf. What time frames do I trade? We go as low as the 1 minute chart when we're looking at stocks. We can look at multiple ticks on S&P futures, but we always like to look at the larger time frames to get context. So the monthly chart will give us some clues right there. Weekly chart, right, just to give some overall context, right? Because you can see AMD, right, had an inside day break. Marvel, triple inside week up, right? So those bigger time frames will give us more clues to look for entries on the shorter term time frames, right? And then BABA looking pretty interesting too. I like the gap up today. I like how it held green, spinning top. BABA's a tricky one, right? And this is kind of a tricky area, right? So we're still kind of within some geometricals right here. Left and upper shadow off of these, right? So I'm just kind of keep an eye on those going into the next couple of days. See if we can break above it. Otherwise, you got that open gap below to contend with. So good stuff. All right, guys. Well, good stuff. I really appreciate everybody for tuning in this evening and for your support. And if you're new here, definitely click subscribe on YouTube. And whether you're new here or not, please hit the like button. It goes a long way. Even if you're watching the recording, I always appreciate that. And so thanks again, everybody, for tuning in. We'll catch you guys bright and early on the Good Morning Market Prep video. And looking forward to another awesome trading day tomorrow. So thanks again, everybody, for tuning in. Stay healthy out there. And remember your risk first and stay safe so you can stay